literally show child pornography. And if we did that, I wonder if that. Now I'm starting to think that I don't even know if that would offend people too much.
Right.
That's how scary it's getting. So I'm like, I don't even know if it would offend people. They'd probably start making excuses if a 13-year-old girl came out with just stickers, right, barely covering it. They probably think, oh, she can do what she wants with her body, and I'm just sitting there going like, oh my god, I'm gonna vomit. This is the fact that we're doing this is horrifying to me.
Yeah.
And I've never seen a bigger. no wonder the religious. The most serious religious people are literally screaming doomsday and saying that we're going down a pit to hell.
Right. Yeah.
Again, not that I pushed it to that extreme. I'm starting to get it. I'm just like, we just had somebody just got murdered for over freedom of speech. There's child pornography. I literally deleted everything except Facebook, right? Even Instagram wouldn't let me do this, right? Even Instagram's a pornography generator now. So the one thing you can do, and this is what I tell young men, and I'll end with this so I don't keep going on, but the one thing you can do is, just like my emails, because that's what they do. They send you all kinds of stuff. Call girls are always trying to get to you. They're always trying to send you stuff like that. What you do is you delete, block. And it takes a little bit of time at first, right? Through your Facebook, you say, X, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see it. And eventually the algorithm learns, as well as those people stop hunting, right? And I'm proud to say it took me 3 years. And as of like a year and a half ago, I no longer get anything ever. Not sometimes, like a whole year goes on without anything. The thing is, TikTok and Instagram wouldn't allow it. So what it shows me is there's a bias to their algorithm. It's not an algorithm that's there just to find what you want. It's there and it's paid for to produce what it wants to produce to you, right? Okay. Facebook is the best one because Facebook, I did it on and I haven't gotten a single one now. Now the algorithm's learned. It doesn't feed me sex anymore. Okay. But Instagram, I did it for a year. I literally for a year straight said, no, I don't want to see that. No, I don't want to see this. Okay. I don't want to see this porn star. I don't want to see these bikini model girls. And it still fed me every week.
Instagram
another one or two. So what it is, it shows you, right? Because you know the logic in it. It's like it shows you it's not about the algorithm. There's an overlay that says, okay, so it's going to go for your suggestions, but we're also going to add in that we feed these things to men. We feed this kind of content to anybody who has an income, right? So it shows you like how perverted the system is, which software is the worst, is the one who doesn't let the algorithm rule. So at least Facebook's algorithm, from what I can tell, it's ruled by just the algorithm, right? It says what you want, you get, right? But Instagram and especially TikTok says, no, we're going to use a little bit of that so it's targeted to you, but we mostly want to give you what we think you want, right?
Because you're a 40-year-old man.
Because I'm a 40-year-old man and I haven't counted, right. So it would not stop feeding me that stuff no matter what I did.
And it works on most men, too.
Of course it does. But the worst part about it is there's nothing bad or evil about that temptation. We are hormonally designed to be pursuing sexual gratification. Not to mention our hormones specifically are even more pulling to that because we penetrate, right? This isn't I'm not making a derogatory term. I'm saying the physical fact that we do that means that we have an even bigger temptation tied to our psychology to lean into that stuff. I don't care if you're a saint. If it's being thrown at you all day, you're going to be like, oh my God, and you're going to start thinking about it. So what's the moral outrage there is that we're literally, this is the same thing as people who don't want to do drugs and going, hey man, come on, let's do a little heroin every day. Someone just feeding it to them. And then even worse, they start blowing cocaine into the ear so you get a contact high. This is no different than the equivalent of that, but in a pornography world. And the reason why it's bad is because those things lead to lower gratification sexually in general, right?
Yeah.
Doing that, it leads to a lowered pursuit, so you don't go after the people that you want, the women that you want, right? Lowered birth rates. It literally affects us directly as if you're causing damage. And yet we let companies do this crap, man.
Right.
It's crazy. It's crazy to me. Crazy to me. That's something I'm going to be pushing against when I get into my career for sure.
Yeah, and then there's also there are like Love and Sex Addicts Anonymous. Some of the research coming out of the pornography stuff, it affects the gray matter in your brain.
Of course.
And so they also say men are more apt to have fetishes. So what actually gets them aroused when they take the mouse and then are about to log into xnxx.com or something and click on it. That's what initially gets you aroused. So then when you go to a natural partner in the bed, it doesn't work.
There's no way. No, it's the worst part of gambling, right? Gambling itself isn't what gets you there. It's the anticipation, right? And that's what makes it so perverted. It's not, people are like, there's nothing wrong with porn because it's the same. I had some ignorant people compare it to like, so you're looking at your girlfriend while you're doing that. I'm like, well, the difference is she's there. Yeah. They're physically engaging with her. There's all kinds of systems being triggered. This you're adding in a technology that is actually becomes ingrained and part of the process to where now, what are you gonna do? Go to your girlfriend and put a box and pretend to click while you're done? I mean,
Right.
At what point are we gonna just be like, oh my God, dude, we should separate these things?
Mhm.
I mean, it's not that, I don't think, if they wanna do that, I'm not so extreme that I say we should control everybody and stop it, but what we should do is it should be a lot harder to get to. It should be a lot more regulated, and it should be one of those things that is morally considered not okay, not this whole like revolution of like, hey, there's no big deal, like, oh, we should be able to be okay with it. You remember when everybody started sharing that it's normal? And I get the virtue. So the intent was to normalize things that we're ashamed of. There is some psychological evidence that says shame makes things worse, right? But that doesn't mean promoting it, right? We've drawn a line, we've crossed that line. At first it started out with, let's get rid of the shame. What we should have done is, you don't have to be ashamed, but you should work towards not doing that as much as you do it now. You know what I mean? You don't have to be ashamed. There's nothing wrong with you because you, in this, I think it lies in biology. Explaining, well, yeah, there's a reason why chemically you were drawn to this, right? And then explaining that what you just said, right? And this is why it's bad, because you're integrating it in this way, and it's also, you don't know those people. Like you take on some psychological connection when you go into that intimate state. Imagine it's like you normally have a shell that's pretty consistent, that's good for you, right? And when you get intimate with somebody, you let that shell lift a little bit, and all your juicy raw parts are exposed, which means you absorb at a higher rate. Like literally, you absorb more of that social person, which is why if you engage sexually with somebody, it better be someone you care about, because you're going to absorb the good and the bad of them.
Yeah.
Even more than just a friend you walk by that you're not doing that with, right?
Right.
So it's imagine you're doing that with strangers. That I'm not meaning to judge, but a factual point to be made is that they're not the best kind of people. People that are willing to go have sex with strangers on camera aren't wonderful characters.
I know, right?
Even people who promote that have to admit, like, well, I mean, come on, yeah, they got to have a lot of different feelings about their body, their autonomy. The field itself is all about promoting and making money off the worst parts of our animalistic instincts. So it's gross in general. The whole thing is full of like backstabby, like weird. Oh my God, I can't even imagine how disgusting that the deepest pit of that world is, right?
Yeah.
And yet every time you click on that, you're going, hey, and you're letting in a little bit of that energy.
Right.
That got me when I started realizing that effect. You know, it was as simple as like, you are the median of the 5 people you hang out with. I take that to an extreme. I'm like, okay, so if I'm the median of the 5 people I hang out with, then why am I that? Well, it's because I absorb people psychologically. Okay, well then it's not just about physical type people around you. I mean, there's even concepts that are involved, right? It goes people, secondary, like people on TV, right? Even concepts that share a thread of what we absorb from the people are absorbing too. Like it's the idea that we're a sponge that takes in every single bit of data around us. Otherwise, we couldn't learn. But yeah,
have you watched this one yet?
Freedom?
Sound of Freedom? I'll do a trailer real fast.
What's it about?
It's
It's
real
the
life.
fastest growing international crime network that the world has ever seen. It has already passed the illegal arms trade, and soon it's going to pass the drug trade. Because you can sell a bag of cocaine one time to a child 5 to 10 times a day. God's children are not for sale.
I did see this.
Okay.
I did see this. I'm glad they did it because they exaggerated a good amount of the story. This isn't a documentary. It's not a documentary, but
Tons of pushback from Hollywood. Like
they got tons of pushback because it's freaking real. Right?
Uh-huh.
And they did exaggerate a couple of pieces, which I don't know if they necessarily had to, but what's cool is they mentioned that they did. The reason why I think they do that too is because they know that some people aren't taking this as seriously as it should be. It's like, dude, you got to take this seriously, man. But I did see that though. That was I think I don't know if you made us, but you suggested it in the class, and that's why
I did. I know.
That's why I did watch it.
I know I'm pushy about it, but I do think it's something that has to get out.
No, I think it's great.
It's like
It's not a
kind
joke,
of
man.
sick, and now we're teaching human trafficking here. I walked over. Well, I was late because I took a student to the registrar, and I said, "So, teaching human trafficking I said, are you learning how to do human trafficking or learning how to prevent it?" It was my bad joke, but she's like, they all in class said because the social workers aren't doing their job and they suck. That's why we have human trafficking.
That's not why. It's because there's
Right.
bad people out there that know that it's you know what the real reason why it's there is because there's not enough light on it, first of all, in general. So I guess you could say that social workers could suck a little bit in that sense that they're not being more vocal about it and like figuring it out. But it's also the fact that we have people that want to pay for this stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's more about like maybe talking about the psychological help that people can get when they start to feel the beginnings of that. Because this is just as much as this isn't the worst of them, maybe, right? But this isn't you don't have an evil piece of DNA in you that says you're an evil person. These things become perverted and distorted as you indulge in things that are adjacent to them. Right. So what it is this is why I'm so outraged about the TikTok and YouTube pornography for children, right? It's because it's not just that the evil people now have access and are doing evil things. It's making normal, good people start to get into that evil realm because they're being exposed little by little, right? We equate youth. Youth is attractive, right? A 20-year-old girl is objectively sexually more attractive in some cases than a 30-year-old, right? Yeah. And that alone, that reality mixed with like just the abundance of pornography, it's sliding people into like psychological holes and traps that are making them more disgusting. You know what I mean? Like your tolerance goes up and up as you view these things. So you start getting more fetishized, like you mentioned. You start to be like, okay, I'm bored of this now. My body's acclimated. Now what else can I look at? Mm-hmm. And because it's so abundant, like what we need to do is we need to crack down on first of all, bikini things in certain pageant movements should be completely demolished. I mean, they should be literally criminalized, right? Yeah. It should be illegal. And it should be considered immoral and wrong for you to put your child through beauty examples where you dress them up as if they're a grown woman. When they're freaking 10 years old, dude. That is horrifying. Like, I can't believe we even, like, not only is it horrifying for the people that are watching and perverting it, right? It's even horrifying that a mom would want to treat their child like that. And then the psychological effects, there's nothing good about it. There's nothing good about the whole thing. Like, why the hell are we allowing it? Right? Yeah. And it's been known to be a breeding ground for the worst kind of people to take advantage of. Even the judges in those things have been known to turn out to be pedophiles. So I mean, it's just like, Jesus Christ, man. The kicker was for me was right before TikTok when I went off of it. Right before TikTok, I literally I don't even describe what it was. There was like 2 or 3 images that got sent to me, and I quickly realized, oh my God. Because it was already bad enough when they looked like they were 16. Yeah. And I quickly realized that was an 11-year-old girl. That is. And I was like, oh my God, we're at this point now. And it wasn't something that I found in the woods. Yeah. It was part of a promotional thing. There was a dating site that showed she looked like she was 12-year-old Hispanic girl, like saying come bang. And I'm just like, I was like, oh my God, it's here. We've done it. We've officially gotten so fucking sexually free, right? This is the thing you needed to be aware of. They've been talking about this for years, right? We've gotten to the point where we're so free with our bodies that little girls are going on websites and being used as pornography, and it's It's best thing I did was delete all my stuff. I only have Facebook now. I don't take any. I don't even go on apps anymore for dating because even the dating apps are littered with prostitutes and pornography. It's awful. Messed up. Oh, it's disgusting, man. No, you can be glad that you're married and out of this.
Yeah, I did. I
just be glad you got out of it good.
Noticed it was going that route maybe as early as whatever the digital. I guess I didn't have an iPhone until 2012 or a smartphone. I had all these flips, and then this is what I had to take off right here. These type of things. So that's crazy.
Yeah, little 10-year-old kid. I mean, at this point, it's hard to even regulate. Little 10-year-old kid can just go on and make a profile saying she's 18, make stuff up. I mean, there's like zero checking on these things. Like they just say, "Oh, tell us your age." It's like, are you kidding me? Like there should be like you should need to show an ID to even get a YouTube channel. You shouldn't let unless you're 18 and up, you should not be able to be on YouTube and make videos. Period. I don't care what that destroys. The things that it's going to take away from kids under 18 is nothing compared to the damage it's doing by allowing them to do it. You know what I mean? Like, because you could argue, well, some 14-year-old kid that's in Disney that wants to promote a thing, it's like, guess what? Let Disney promote it. An organization that has laws and can be held accountable, maybe they are the only ones that can post this stuff because that's like child. I got a lot to say about it, but even to give them a bone there, right? If you allow them to do it, then at least if we find that they've done something wrong, we can sue them, stop them, destroy that department. Yeah. Right. But with the way it is now, there's no who are you going to hold accountable? The single kid who's the victim there that got whipped into it. You know what I mean? Like at least I think we should just literally be like, if you're not 18, you can't post things of yourself unless you go through an organization that is qualified and specific towards what you're doing. Right? You're going to be a ballerina, then they need to post the videos for you. They can make, I don't care if they make a profile for you as their star ballerina, but it has to be done through them, so it's regulated, and it has some kind of rules that a company can be held accountable for.
Right.
Like, I think that would be and that's just an arbitrary suggestion, but I think that would stop a lot of crap when it comes to this like flood of child pornography and just way too much stuff going on.
I know, yeah, it is kind of creepy because have you seen the picture of the dude with the beard dressed up like Cinderella cutting somebody's hair?
No, wait, what?
I bet you it's all over. Dude in Disney working on hair. It was weird, man. I don't know if it was on, say, probably have to go to like X or Twitter to find it, but it was weird.
He was dressed as Cinderella and cutting a kid's hair?
Or like fixing her hair to be a like crown, and then maybe this is why.
Like he just looked weird because he was dressed in like drag and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gotten pretty disgusting, man. I get the purpose for like, I get the original empathy for it, but it's obvious at this point. It was to me immediately, but I was letting it go.
So my name's Nick. I'm one of Fairy Godmother's apprentices. I'm here to shop you around with our selections for the day. So my name's Nick. I'm one of Fairy Godmother's apprentices. I'm here to shop you.
Much longer one of like the whole.
I was gonna say, I wonder if they got a hold of it and got rid of it because they knew it was a bad look for the trans.
I would think, yeah.
They do that stuff, man. I've seen stuff post and been out there, but like, what the heck? And then it just went away. And I was like, I wonder how they got that to go away. I've seen them completely reframe things too that were obviously like gross and like it showed how bad that was.
Maybe under this they would have the no, they don't. So I guess maybe you're right. Maybe it already.
Dude, they're pretty. I mean, because a lot of that, I'm not trying to be conspiratorial, but a lot of that is a lot of the people that want to promote the good part of that and want to dilute the whole thing and like pretend that there's nothing wrong. A lot of them are actually in control in the end of this like distribution, like of that media, and they're pretty good at stopping the stuff. I've seen things get posted that were like, see, that's the reason why we need to have real language about what a real sex is. This is why it's important to go based on it's going. How come that's gone now?
Yeah, it totally is gone. It showed that him take her inside. He did her hair. He put a crown on, and I guess it's being praised for inclusivity, but it just seems a little different. I was like, what?
Dude, the moment I was in Portland when this all came down, literally in Portland, Oregon. And we joke because it's ground zero, right? Out there, the
like
stuff.
In 2010 or 2015.
I was there, right? And so we joke. I was there the whole time. Ground zero, right? And I'll tell you right now. So all the clubs that were for couples only, any place, bathrooms like that, the minute they declared it, you saw men dressed in drag, grossest kind of men. I mean, disgusting, obvious perverted men, old men, like in their 40s and 50s, immediately take advantage of it. And that alone shows me that it wasn't that a bunch of like good examples of that came out of the woodwork. Like now we have something to do. It was immediate, like, these are the people pushing it. Right. I was like, so this is why they want to do this, because perverts want a reason to go into a woman's bathroom. This isn't the only, but this is a big part of it. I literally watched it. I was literally in the club and was like, what's going on? The whole vibe changed. Me and the girl just stopped going because we were like, this is disgusting. I don't want to be here anymore. It was so obvious. And then at her work, she started realizing somebody was going to the bathroom and listening to the girl go to the bathroom. Right? I was just like, if this isn't physical evidence of why this isn't great, I was like, I don't know what is. And I said, I don't care what other reason you're signaling for. This is bad. Right. Whatever we got to do to stop this is more important than what you want to signal.
Well, I wonder if even YouTube is so bad, their free speech algorithm, they'll listen to this and take it down because we talked about it. Who knows? I mean, if that's the case.
YouTube's they're pretty woke when it comes to that. YouTube's like one of the worst ones.
Like they'll take it down if you're talking.
Yeah. I mean, it's getting better now though. The good news is, to put a good note to it, is the majority of us have not been on board for this. More than 80% have said no to this. I mean, it's getting close to almost 100 at this point. Have said no from the beginning. Never liked the movement. The whole idea of gender affirmation. I mean, all this stuff has never been a go for the whole country. And it's just been the loudest of us screaming about it and putting it up. And then people at the top who know that they can make money. I mean, I don't mean the top as some conspiratorial Illuminati. I mean, literal people that have the most money that don't care either way, but go, I can make money off of this. That's it.
Right.
It's like, hey, let's do it, dude. I can make some money off this. Confusion works. And then you got the other, this is part conspiratorial. And then you got China going, okay, this is a good way to start Discord. All right, let's do this. Let's make them, the more they argue with themselves, the less they're going to worry about us.
And even the app is called Discord now, too.
It's
right?
literally.
They're not hiding it.
No, and it's so obvious. It's insane.
Yeah.
This is what it comes down to is, okay, so what can you say about the individual? Well, what it is, first of all, it's our responsibility to not be ignorant. And if we are ignorant, to not perpetuate it, right? So, because that's what ignorance is, perpetuating that nonsense that has no found evidence whatsoever, and it's just garbage, right? So we have a duty to not be ignorant as human beings, right? Otherwise, we're just as bad as the people that are producing the evil stuff. And we also have an obligation to know that evil triumphs when good people do nothing. It doesn't triumph when evil does something. Evil's always doing something. It triumphs when we do nothing. So we have to start taking responsibility in this world of sitting back and watching TV because our day, I'm just tired from the day. It's like, dude, wake up, man, because your purpose comes from doing something good in the world, first of all, so you're going to have a better life if you actually do something. And second of all, if you have any inkling to complain ever about the state of the world now, then you better be doing something about it. All right. Otherwise, you're no better than the bad people who are trying to make it worse.
Right.
I think that's something we've lost, is realizing that it's not just enough that you promote good and that you don't do bad. I would go so far as to say it's almost like you're doing bad if you're not doing good.
Right. We have to do prevention type of stuff.
You have to literally be out there, man. You got to be in the world for doing things. You got to be helping other people. I mean, you can't just give to a charity once a month and think, oh, I'm a good person. It's like, no, man, you got to literally make part of your purpose in life making the world a better place. And what does that mean,
get
right?
in the trenches.
Yeah, in the trenches. Something as easy as, you don't have to be crazy intelligent. You can do something as simple as, okay, I'm going to pick one area that I can clarify for the masses, because that's what the disconnect comes from, people who know and the rest of us who don't know. And then we get stuck in a road because we don't want to do the work. It takes too much work to actually understand it. So we're just like, I'm just going to believe what that says because it feels most emotionally relevant to me. It's like, I want to be Democratic or I want to be Republican because I like the way it makes me feel, right?
Yeah.
To be a good actor, we can just be the one who goes, okay, I can't figure it all out, but I'm going to go look at this one thing, right? Like for me, I would say it's suffering. It's realizing this illusion, because out of all this stuff from the woke world, right? I'm only using that term because it explains a lot of this balloon. Out of all the stuff that came out of it, one of the worst things that came out of it was this idea that you should feel good all the time.
Right.
You should feel good all the time. Suffering is bad. Run from suffering. Only feel positive feelings, right? This ties back to sex. It ties back to affirmation. Like all this stuff about confirming your identity. Everything is only feel good. Eat all the candy you want, only because it feels good. My goal is like, okay, I clarify. I was like, okay, I'm going to narrow in on this, and I'm going to teach people that suffering is actually not just something you have to endure. It's a desired ingredient. You want it, man. Oh boy, you even need cortisol to be released in your brain. You need to feel stressed to even learn.
Right.
And it's like learning is objectively the best thing for your body, for your well-being, for your future. So that's in a nutshell, I think that's a good prescription for anybody if they want to do good and they don't know where to start. It's like, pick the thing that you understand and have most passion about and understand it better. And then teach people how to understand it better. And then stand up for it whenever somebody says something wrong, even if it means you lose something because of it. Right? If I'm at my next job, I'm going to the fire. I'm going right into the fire, right? Because my ideology is, and I don't even call them ideologies, I call them realities, right? It's not, I don't think I have a direct ideology. Mine's based off of, and I know this sounds somewhat selfish, but it's based off of what I actually am studying from both ends and realizing this is actually what's right. I'm not one-sided because I only listen to one. I listen to both sides as much as I can. And I'm going in there and I'm even if it means losing a job, I'm going to be like, no, I won't be promoting this. No, I'm not going to be doing this. And if they don't like it, I'm going to go to someone else who does it. Eventually, I'll find where I fit.
Right.
But that's why I wanted to become a social worker. And I've had some people come up and they're like, oh, so you want to do this, this, and this? And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not going to push that. I don't believe in that.
Right. Now that I actually see that I have this, would you want, I know it would be early and this may be independent license questions, but the study test for licensure exam, this one might have been undergrad, as an undergrad gave you that, but this one is definitely for graduate students. And while I have it in front of me, I want to share it so you guys.
This is for the social work?
It is social work license, yep.
So I'll do social work and counseling test.
You will only do social work. You could, if you got your master's in counseling, you could do like Dr. Hunt did, a BSW in social work and then a 2-year counseling license and master's in counseling.
I thought no, after I got my bachelor's in social work, I thought I could become a counselor, right?
You
Like,
can.
I see.
You can. And you do it with your social work license. That's why it's.
I see. So it's still just one test, but then you're allowed to do it. I see. As opposed to taking the counseling test, this is a different thing with a different education.
Right. So our clinical license does come with your master's degree. However, in Ohio, we were able to assess, diagnose with a supervisor, sign off on it, and treat. And they haven't changed that, and they probably won't. In Ohio, with your BSW, LSW, you could do that.
Okay.
And then 1 year as MSW, you have a clinical diagnosis 2 years after practicing and supervise. Then you can have a private practice and diagnose your own and not have somebody sign off on your diagnosis.
Mhm.
Does that explain it at all?
Yeah. I wonder if, so if I got a master's in counseling after I did my social work, that wouldn't increase my income necessarily. It would just be that I would have 2 different jobs, right? So I'd have to get a master's in social work to increase my general.
I think so, and I was even told I may have made it more difficult for myself because I have a master's in social work and a doctorate in counseling. Usually you want to go the same all the way through.
Yeah.
There was none local when I worked in Cincinnati, so I just went to the doctorate in counseling. I never got the license in counseling. I qualify for it, but it's the same licensing board in Ohio. It's the same qualifications, so I'm not going to get a social work and counseling license.
No, I'm just wondering what I guess then the only thing is that when somebody's looking for a counselor, they may be turned off by someone who's just a social worker versus someone who's an actual counselor license, right? Because they'd say they'll counsel you. Who is this person? Well, his credentials are a social worker.
That comes up sometimes. I would argue in the reverse that counseling is only training counseling. We're trained on every area from case management to counseling, not just to counsel people. Like we do everything.
Oh, so I like that.
I think it's stronger, honestly.
Nice.
But you're right that I also think there was a possible racial component to it for a while, because a lot of times it would be that like counseling was a field only started in the like 60s and 70s, and that's when the license came out. Social work is 100 years old, but people would say they take your kids, or it's all minority women taking your kids. So they started the counseling field and have a license in counseling. So I don't know. I can't prove that there's a racial component, but I feel like there is a racial component.
No, I'm sure. I mean, social work we're not blind to the fact that social workers have been compared more to like impoverished Black communities than anything. Like when you think about it, it's like, oh, well, when you think of social worker, you think of, whether you think of a white or Black now, I'm not so sure. I think it's both as a social worker, but you think of them going into Black communities and taking children.
Right.
Even now, after years of it not being that way, it still permeates.
Right. So I'm going to send these because I find them once a year and I'll forget to send it to you if I don't. Do these still come as an email, or does it only show up in announcements?
Good question.
Because I always feel like I send the announcement because it comes to you in your email. That's my intention, at least. I don't know if it's.
I think it always comes in the email, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
It's always the beginning coming up.
Okay.
You know what's funny? Just because I thought about it. So you remember that women's group I went to?
Yeah.
Yesterday, I've never seen these women before in my life until the day before that. Yesterday, they all showed up at my practice spot in the hour that I was playing music at the park. Isn't that wild? They showed up as a group, and I've never seen these women before.
That is
like,
wild.
Talk about connection, and like, and this happens to me a lot. This happens to me like every 2 weeks. I have these experiences.
What the hell?
I know. It's like, I take it as because I am religious, right? I take it as that ever since I started changing my life and living more like Christ. Mm-hmm. God has been telling me more and more, this is why you're on the right path, man. You know what I mean? And we talk about that in a cliche way, like, oh yes, synchronicity means that it's where you're supposed to be. It's so potent in my life. I'm not exaggerating. It happens to me every other week. Some bizarre thing will happen and it'll be like, that's exactly where you're supposed to be, Andrew. I literally just met these women.
I know.
Went to a women's group on accident, didn't know it was a women's group.
How far was it from your?
Extremely far.
Is it really?
Like 20-minute drive.
What?
Right? So, and they because it was downtown, where I went to the thing, and this is Cox Arboretum. So this is like a 15, 20-minute drive from.
And they were like, "Oh my gosh, you were the guy at our
They
group."
just randomly walked. The whole group showed up, and I'm sitting there playing ukulele and singing to them as I walk by. They didn't just show up then; they showed up the exact moment I showed up.
Are they like intimate partners? All of them
No,
together?
they you know what? Even funnier, they decided to go last minute. So
like
did
to
I.
have the meeting in the park, or just to
No,
hang out
they
in
just
the park?
they
or
came
what?
out. They came out. They randomly messaged each other in the group. They have a group. It sounded like they had a group. I'm assuming.
Discord. They're all
They
on
had some kind of group, and they said, "Let's go take a walk in our arboretum, our Cox Arboretum." And I showed up, not knowing if I was going to show up. I randomly did it too because I was like, maybe I'm not going to do it today. I wanted to get the assignment done.
Okay.
A couple other things, and I was about to go home, and I was like, "Nah, we'll play for just an hour."
Uh-huh.
And as I show up, I'm pulling in.
And that's
I see
where
I
trees
see
are
one girl-
grown.
Huh?
Is that a special place where certain trees are grown? Arboretums are like where
Cox Arboretum has a bunch. It's the best one in this whole town.
plants or trees. It's like something.
Everything. It's plants. They have an edible garden. There's
Oh, they
birds
do have
that come
edibles.
around.
Okay.
They have a tower up in the middle of it.
Is there a
trail.
food forest too?
No,
Which
just
is
edible
fruit
garden.
trees, but they have
There
a
might
garden.
be. Yeah, but
That's
there's an
kinda
edible garden
cool.
in there. It's Cox. If you haven't been there, go to Cox Arboretum. It's
I've
great.
never been. I've
Never
been
been.
so
You're out here,
limited
though,
on.
aren't you? You live out here?
I live now in Lebanon, so I'm closer. But I am Cox Arboretum.
It's a
Oh,
good
they
place.
got
Isn't that
EV charging
crazy?
station.
I ran into all
Yeah.
of them, and I was playing them music, and I was like,
That's
I used it
nice.
as a moment to be like, I feel like God. Not only did I say that God's real, I'm like pointing. I was like, look at that. What are the odds I would see? I've never met you guys in my life.
And you recognize them, and they recognize you.
Of course, right away. I,
And
mean, I
then-
was a man who showed up at their women's group. I mean, how would you not?
You're like, because I have long hair, I can come in, right?
Yeah, right,
That's what-
exactly.
that
Yeah,
used to
yeah,
be
yeah,
my,
yeah. But
my
no, it was
joke.
a big deal. It was like one of the most weirdest things to like see them again and be like,
Yeah.
hey, there's that
That's
group
where
again.
Nikita's family saw you because she's part of the.
Yep, Nikita's family. That's funny that Nikita's family. See, there's another singer there. Nikita's
Yeah.
family shows up and sings with me. Even
And it's in like
this one was even more significant.
downtown Dayton.
No, this isn't downtown. Downtown Dayton's where they met. This is much further from it. It's like 15 minutes away from downtown.
So it's closer to Central or past Dayton,
yeah,
further.
it's that down towards Kettering, kind of like where I live, past Kettering a little bit.
Okay.
That's
yeah.
why my mom lives right next door to it, like literally.
And
It's
so
her
it is
backyard.
like green space. You could go there
Oh, it's
and
huge.
like run.
Yep,
That's
that's
where we
trail.
had.
There's like a 2-mile trail.
Our last horticulture therapy conference was at a arboretum and botanical garden. I don't know if they ever connect those two. So
That's
and my friend's an arborist. That's how I'm starting to connect all the trees.
Uh-huh. It's big. It's a big one.
That is big. Is it
It's big. They
near?
have weddings there all the time.
That is
Things
St.
like it.
Henry's Catholic Church. So
It's a big wedding
Okay.
area. They got a center there that does like free little classes where they teach you about birds and trees and stuff.
yeah,
It's
Well,
a great place.
I did 30 hours of horticulture to practice horticulture therapy. I never did an internship in horticulture therapy. So we are now funding it for our people on our grant. And I looked at I need to have 36 open hours this semester. And I literally have no open hours this semester. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
Because I force self-care. So like, yes, I could like ditch self-care, ditch eating right, ditch sleeping. I'm not doing that anymore. I can't live like that anymore.
I just turned down my friend really wanted me to do this dinner theater because he knows I did acting before. He's leaving town. He got a job at the Pentagon.
Oh,
He
really?
got a job at the Pentagon, dude. This dude's great. 40 years old, PhD in advanced war game mathematics.
What the hell?
Yeah, so he just got a
Okay.
job at the Pentagon, but
Huh.
he had to leave. He's one of the best people I know. He had to leave. And he's like, I come into this dinner theater, and they just bring up that you mentioned. I was like, dude, I can't, man. I was like, I'd have to stop doing the things that I care about my future, and I was like, I'm not. I'd have to put them on hold.
Mhm.
I got too
Right.
much stuff I'm doing already, man. I don't
Yeah.
want to swing dance even. That's like a secondary one.
Yeah, I didn't even know we had an arboretum loop. I don't know what that is, and it's apparently 5 miles from here. So like, well, near Yellow Spring, so that makes sense. It's probably just like a build your own walk or hike in this area.
Like arboretum mean birds or is it
I thought
trees?
it had trees, arborist. An arborist,
Arborist,
does.
yeah, that makes sense.
In fact, I'm even willing to ask AI just because.
Doesn't that make almost every park an arboretum?
Right,
But
but they
some
could
have
have like
diversity.
special trees.
Oh, you're right. No, they have plaques all over them.
Yeah.
There's special trees all over the arboretum.
Yeah, and then
That's
you
right.
study the trees there, like.
You're right. No, there's little plaques. There's little monument things they have pitched up that tell you about the trees. It's like a zoo of
Mm.
trees, a zoo, museum of trees.
Woody plants. It's an outdoor museum for scientific research, conservation, public education.
So outdoor museum of
Yeah.
trees. That makes sense. It's literally an outdoor museum of living trees.
And that is cool, like just
That's
the colors that come and like the
The different shapes and styles of tree breeds.
yeah, it's
I like Arboretums a lot. Like I play there every time I'm not here. If I'm not working or in school, I'm there from about anywhere from 1 to 5 for about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
okay. It's
And
like your
I do a free
self-care.
show. Yeah, well, it's the world of self-care, in my opinion. I used to do it inside in my room, and I started doing it out in public, and I get so many things. Like, I mean, think of it this way. This happens to me almost every time. Is I learned a set for the nursing home, a new set, so I got a bunch of oldies in there. And,
Okay.
I Can't Help Falling in Love by Elvis Presley.
Yeah. Yeah.
I literally had just learned the song, never played it out. And I went there and I was playing, this couple sat down on the bench and they were whispering and I didn't know what they were whispering. They got up and they went to walk away and I had turned it just to that song as they were walking past me and I started playing and they stopped and they danced and a little tear went in the husband's eye.
Oh.
He looked over at me and said, we sat down and we were going to ask you to play that song, but we got too shy.
Nice.
And it's our wedding song.
Oh.
And so they did that, decided not to. And as they were walking by me, I randomly turned that to my next song and started playing that song that they were about to ask me. I mean, what the heck is that, dude?
Yeah.
That's not, this stuff, I get it. You can explain it away with logic, but that's not the point. This happens too often, and that is too specific of a thing.
That's when
man.
people always say, "Is it odd or is it God?"
I say, right? I mean, seriously, there's no how
Right.
does that even
Yeah.
happen? How does
Right.
And I just learned the song 2 weeks before that for a show.
That is cool.
I mean, so I started
Yeah.
going because of that. Every time I go there, there's more experience like that, and people, even here when I play out there,
Uh-huh.
the kids stop me and say, "I was gonna go home. I was gonna skip my class. I was feeling really bad about today, and because of what you just did, I'm feeling really good, and I'm gonna go to class." And so I started playing. That's why I want to play more. And
Yeah,
more. I just
yeah.
met the media promoter, Miss Bowes, young pretty black girl.
Yeah.
What's her name? You know her? Miss
I
Bowes?
think I do know
Miss Bowes.
exactly who you're talking about.
She just told me to start playing. I wish I had more time to do it. If I was closer, I would be way more into I would directly be helping the school in many ways, but I'm just not close enough.
Right.
And
'cause-
to be honest, there's not enough incentive. I would make it more incentivized if there was something that was going to help me. But
Right, for sure. No, that's why.
I told Curtis that. I tried to get Curtis to kind of fund me, but he wouldn't.
Is he gone now?
Yeah, he's gone. I mean, he couldn't do it if he wanted to, anyways. But I was like, hey man, if you find a way to make sure I get everything paid for, I'll live on campus even. And I was like, and I promise you, my existence here will just make everybody happier.
Yeah.
That's not me just boasting. That's just because of what I do in life. My pleasure systems are tied to community and to making everybody enjoy the world and just love themselves. That's just kind of what, I don't know what it is, but it's something that I just practice doing regularly.
Yeah.
Miss Boswell.
Okay, yeah.
She just told me, she's like, go in for the cafeteria. And I was like, I'm going to try to do that Tuesdays at least.
Because she's going to
on
do a
these days.
promotion thing.
She just wants me to, she was like, why are you here? Like, go in the front of the cafeteria where people can hear you. And I was like, okay. She was like, do it right by the student center. She was like, just keep doing that, man. I want you to do that. I'll when I see it, we'll put some videos in, and even the public speaking class he was I was like, I told the Soul Train, Train that I don't know if you met him. He's a character. I like him a lot.
I don't think so.
I told him he's like the camera guy and
Okay.
he runs a lot of the social media stuff.
Is his name Stefan?
Yeah. I think
Okay.
No, Stanley.
Okay.
Stanley. He's a goofball. I like him. He's a silly goose.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun stuff. I like playing for peeps.
You guys have me dig deep into my files from like 2010, 2011 to like, because there's a group cancer, there's a group for depressed women, pathological gambling. I just wanted to have a research article for each one.
My
OCD.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
It's okay.
My honors project, I'm going to pitch you the first draft of it
Okay.
in like 2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
Just a real rough draft of it, but it's going to be an expansion on I'm writing a small speech for public speaking,
Hmm.
and it's going to be about artistic expression as a coping mechanism, and it explains what the difference between passive and active coping skills, and it goes into depth onto why passive are actually not only undesirable, but they actually make things worse.
Passive, like drinking or smoking.
Passive is all that. It's
Yeah.
basically distraction and de-escalation techniques. which-
Eating.
without any further thing, right? Because they're sign of coping, but I didn't realize until I W2 more, that's what they call passive coping.
Yeah.
And we promote this, man.
Right.
We promote it
Yeah.
in society. We promote
They
it
make
in
money
our
off
mental
of it.
health. We literally in our mental health, we even tell people, "Oh, what's your coping skill? Oh, I watch TV to de-escalate. Oh, that's good." And I'm
Right.
like, what? No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's bad. Cancer patients got worse.
Right.
Pregnant women got worse when they did these things.
Yeah.
But it's basically that, and I'm turning into a group. So I'm going to take that speech and I'm going to make it into a group and expand upon it. So I'm going to I'm going to lay out why, what's the difference between active and passive.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to bring up the evidence as to why passive coping skills are actually negative, have a negative impact, and what active coping skills are and how they work, like the process of reflecting and taking things head on and
Yeah.
basically working with it. And I have an analogy to a soccer field about playing the game and being one of the players as opposed to watching the bleachers.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
unfold into a group where we all take a piece of paper and I'm gonna solidify what it is, but you use certain shapes for anger, use certain ones for softness, right?
Okay.
You can have ones that are for creativity and like integration, which are more like more nebulous, they're more like vague.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have the students and anybody who's part of the group call a conflict to mind or even something low impact, and then try without actually using words or anything, try and draw what it feels like, right? And then
Okay.
afterwards, they're going to show it to a peer, and the peer is going to reflect on it with them. And
Okay.
as the peer's reflecting on it with them, they're going to give them input of what they think it means. And then they're going to go back and revisit what that picture looked like, and they're going to start thinking about what that means to them, and then maybe either draw a new picture or just write out what they think they understood and what they learned from that experience.
Okay.
So I can actually show actively how artistic expression, this is something I'm very close with. I've been doing this my whole life.
Yeah.
This is if it wasn't for artistic expression, I wouldn't, not only would I have not grown, right?
You probably
But
been
it's
dead.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And even more so is I've even beyond that morbid truth, the reality is that it's the reason why I excel everywhere.
Yeah.
I didn't pay attention in school.
Right.
I literally
Yeah.
I was the worst student ever. I dropped out in ninth grade. I hated school.
I think I was bad.
I
in school.
avoided it. I cheated every freaking test I could.
Right.
But, and I mean.
But now you're like, I don't even have to do that.
I don't. I love every single
Yeah.
bit of it. I absorb it all. But it's funny that I did that because I hated it so much. Yet I still am considered academically successful as well as just astute in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And I know what it was. It's not because I just happen to have that. Part of it, obviously, my brain is capable, right? I mean, so some ode to DNA there that I have to give credit to.
Yeah.
But a big part of it is because besides that, I used art to understand the world around me. And it goes to show you that there really is something to be said about the entire, body of work that talks about how learning stuff in technical senses and data isn't useless. It's great. It can be a great thing, but everything you need to learn is there. It's everywhere right here.
Right.
And the world is right here. And there's an argument to be made that if you know how to learn fully and as effectively and efficiently as you can, then you only need that, right? That's what we should be teaching kids in school. But I'm trying to digest it all, and this is all I'll end it. I'm trying to digest it all into one idea that is I can express in a small group. So that's gonna be the honors project I submit for this class. I feel
it's
that's a
interesting
good
you
subject.
say that because all of these are active. They're not passive. Even the one that's take a bath is maybe the most passive, if I'm hearing what you're saying correctly, but still you choose the water, you get the temperature, you get, you're still doing something instead of just sitting back.
I would even go deeper in these though.
Okay.
See, a lot of this I would even go deeper because without intention behind these, they're just passive.
Right.
So the thing I didn't mention is there's one more clause to it is active coping skills requires not just the things that are identified as active after the fact, but also a specific process, a methodology that you bring some conflict to mind.
Intentionality on those.
Exactly, very intentionality.
Okay.
And you not only draw what you don't like about it, but you have to force what you like about it.
Okay.
Right? Because this is the part that people get stuck in. Is let's say if you use artistic expression and someone said, think about that fight you had with your mom.
Yeah.
Now draw it, and you just draw all this hate about your mom. You're not going to get much. You're going to get something out of it still, because even then you look at it, you realize I actually don't hate them that much.
Right. Yeah.
But there's another layer of it where it's not only do you do that, but now after you started drawing that out, I say, okay, now draw what you think is the best part about it. They express that too, and this has an objective reflection element to it, where you're I'm objectively doing it, and then when you show it to your peers, right? And this is how art works. when you show it to your peers, the artist learns more about himself, as well as teaches the peer something, right? So the peer looks at it and goes, you know, that reminds me of this and this. Do you think that's it? And the artist goes, I never thought that, but you know what? I think there is truth in that. It's amazing how you can see things that I can't see even in my own work. And it's like, well, yeah, that's how the world works. Your perception is so narrow because of all the tiny things that are in your life, but yet the thing that you can produce is drawing from intuitions beyond your narrow perceptions, right? So like art is being expressed beyond that narrow perception. And the whole point of it is when you express that art and then have others reflect on it, right? That's what makes it better. This is why an artist who only keeps his art to himself doesn't get the full benefit of that act.
My mom's an artist, so it is interesting to connect that way.
Right? And does she show her work? Does she give her work out? Yeah, you have to. I've met artists that they'll barely do it, right? And I can see them struggling. Like you're not taking advantage of your ability right here.
Right.
Your full ability means the whole range of it. It means understanding preemptively what you're going to work on, putting that thing into expressive terms, showing it to someone else, reflecting on it later, writing, drawing a new one. Right? That has more detail and more depth to it. That has more insight after that experience. This process of this conceptualizing, objectively weighing up options, adding in your own spice against your negative gray, your dark gray matter that says only think about negativity, right? Forcing that in because it's not natural, but it's important because it's real, right? And then having someone reflect on it, digesting it, and then redoing this thing. This process is the reason why you'll cope with everything in your life in the best way possible. I mean, I can reduce it to something that basic, and I think if people actually did it and we started realizing that we're all artists, every one of us, man.
Yeah, we should all
this,
be. Yeah,
we are. No, we are. We are.
Yeah,
naturally.
like photos.
So
and all that.
well, because of this, we get the dopamine hit from watching art, right? So we get the dopamine hit, just like with pornography. You get the hit, and then you don't go out and pursue it.
Right.
And the problem that you're missing is all of the rich depth within that experience of doing it yourself, the nuances that transfer into your body that help you understand such vast amounts of information that you could never get otherwise. I mean, it's like I'm understating the amount of utility you gain from physically doing it. Yet you can get just the hit, like a high from watching it. And because of this kind of stuff and this entertainment, nowadays we've convinced ourselves that some people are artists. Oh, it's only because some people are artists, other people are just people. It's like, no, art isn't the thing that a person is. Everybody, it's part of humanity. It's your body.
They used to make us all take the freaking art class.
There's a reason why elementary school has art as it's an exploratory, but it's still a core in the sense that it's in every single program, right? And that's also the travesty of when they started reducing these things, right?
Right.
Is that this has been a slow progression from when we were kids even to now, and we're seeing the effect of it, right? This illusion that and you even see it with vapid, just ignorant people who are just like, it's like one of the biggest things, like you don't do anything creative. Like what is you realize that it's not like a thing that you are, this lack of creative person, right? It's you're literally, imagine your body as a pie chart, and there's a giant chunk that's called artistic expression. That's every single human. And if you're not doing that, that thing is an empty pit of fear. That's literally what takes the place of that is nothing, right? And nothing is fear and unknown. It just riddles you with anxiety.
Yeah.
So that's my push in the future is bringing my experience from art as a director into the psychology and into the social work realm.
Right, doing the art, and it is therapy. And
dude, if you listen to my albums, the 9 that I put out, you can literally, you would know because it's not you, but you would still intuit because it's very obvious. My developmental process from my 20s into my mid 30s is in those albums.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's mind blowing when I go back and listen to them because I mean, I'm literally talking about the relationships with my mother. I'm talking about how I dealt with grief. I'm talking about how I dealt with the people I worked with, all in the form of characters that I created. It's wild, man. It's wild. I just recently listened to it again because
it is fun to come back to that stuff.
Oh, it's great. I'm so glad I solidified it.
Yeah. Did you know we're having this tomorrow?
Oh, I can't come here in days that I don't.
I know. I barely can make it past 4, so I'm.
No, I got work tomorrow. 12-hour shift.
Yeah, a lot of us are stuck that way with some of those. So.
I kind of wish. I mean, that's one of my regrets about being here is that I can't fully engage with college because I work.
Right. Yeah.
I can only kind of just do my thing, which is okay. I'm here for an education, not necessarily to be in the culture, but it makes everything better when you're engaged fully with something.
Yes. I did send this to you. I can't remember if this is the study guide. Maybe this is the study guide. And then I have the exam somewhere. I don't remember which one I sent you guys. So But it has every single thing from the social work programs, over 200 pages.
Oh, nice.
All slimmed down. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's
All the,
everything.
what do you mean, like all the classes?
Yes. So it would be, I think it details it here. So you've got.
For the masters, right?
Yeah, it is. So that's the one catch is the practice test, social work licensure, practice Q&A. Maybe that's what I need to search, and I'll have that. I forget which one I sent you guys already. But yes, this would be for the masters, which you do get less than a year after you graduate here. But it has research, professional relationship values and ethics, diversity. This is like what they test on: policy and community, DSM and critical thinking, and then human development. So
DSM and critical thinking. God, I hope it's not like the critical thinking I took here.
I know, yeah, the
One of them
philosophy.
Oh,
I know.
no, that's the philosophy one, the critical thinking class too. He was nice about it, but it was so riddled full of like specific liberal ideologies. Every example that he used was one-sided.
He's the one, if you were here when I left, he's like, I'm not going to be able to keep the job here as I need to publish or do a conference. I said, let's go do a conference. He's like, well, I want to do mine on critical theory. And nobody wants to do that. I'm like, well, let's just do a conference. Like, however we do it, we'll do a conference. Oh, there it is. My God.
Critical theory, like critical race theory.
Yes.
Yes. Oh God, that makes sense why I didn't like his course. I'm
Is this
sorry, man.
okay,
It's not
yeah,
that
this
it
is
may be a
the-
judgment. It's so obvious how
Right.
when something's just not correct.
Right.
It's so obvious. It's not an opinion, man.
Right.
It's not an opinion.
They named all of these like the same thing. So I just want to make sure I sent to you guys. Maybe the test is on it too. Is one of them has, okay, practice question and key. And then the other one is, gosh, it is. Okay. But I just want to make sure I sent you guys the right thing.
Well, that's just it's a breakdown and kind of a. That's the only thing I'm gonna have to look into that. I'm glad you sent that or you're sending it because the only thing I'm worried about is so there's a reason why I've been avoiding certain social work classes. I don't want to learn any of that stuff. I don't believe in it. I don't think it's right. I think it's not possible to not be perverted by something even if you're aware of it.
Right.
So I don't want to learn it. So I'm glad that they don't make certain things mandatory. But it's the reason why I haven't gone into certain schools. And I'm a little concerned that when I get into the master's, I may not choose social work, even if it does increase my income, because I think there's a lot more of it even in that.
Yeah,
I
hear what you're saying there. The cool part is it is a 1 year, and you could transfer a lot of those courses you take to get your 1 year MSW into the counseling. And that's what I did. To get my doctorate in counseling, I transferred sometimes 2, 3, or 4 classes. So 12 of your 30.
You took yours before a lot of this recent stuff.
It was in 01. You're right.
Way before. It's 10 years before all this stuff, man. So I'm a little concerned.
I
now
still
because I'm looking at
noticed
now,
it,
it's
but you're
super-
right.
No, it didn't until 2011 is when it really hit. 10 years later.
And
That's when it got so bad.
I'm gonna